Hello YouTube, Fuzzfinger here once more for more Final Fantasy IV fun, and join me today as we enter into the Antlion's den. Before we actually head into the dungeon proper today, I'm just going to point out a few useful tips and strategies that are going to help you along the way. As always folks, if you want to support my work, please do go ahead and hit the like button on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're thinking about purchasing Final Fantasy IV, then you can get the Steam version, which is the version I'm playing, usually a little bit cheaper than on Steam itself, by clicking on the link in the video description that I've given you, and that also supports me as well, which is fantastic, so thank you ever so much to those of you that have done that and do that. Right, so getting back to the actual walkthrough itself, the strategies I want to mention to you. First of all, the first strategy involves Edward, and that's simply to try and level him up to level 10 before we actually head into this dungeon. He starts at level 9. The reason for that is he's pretty useless to begin with due to his low level, but getting him to level 10 does unlock a new Bard Song ability for him. So if I just head over to him here, and that is Life's Anthem, which is an AoE heal. Not very strong, I'm going to admit, but hey, it's another heal, so go for it. And you can heal up at the castle once you've levelled him, if need be. And the other strategy is, if we head over to Rydia on abilities, make sure she has the Ice Rod equipped first of all. So I'll just show you that one. There it is. Because there's an enemy in here, the Adamantoise, that has a lot of health, but there's a little strategy or technique you can use to take it out quite quickly. If you go to abilities and select Rydia, head to the attack option here, and then head over to items. So it's not items down here, you go to attack first, then items, and then select her ice rod that she has equipped. Like that. Okay? And now what's going to happen in battle is she's going to be able to use the ice rod to blast the enemy with ice attacks, which will do a nice amount of damage for 0 MP as well, which is a bit of a bonus. So that's the few techniques I wanted to share with you. Now we're going to head on into the dungeon, the Antlion's den, and see what horrors await for us inside. Once again, we're just going to open up our map. If you're playing on the Nintendo DS version, then obviously you're just going to see this on the bottom screen, which is particularly helpful so it doesn't take up your real estate space, if you like, on the screen. We're just going to begin by heading over to the west and grabbing the treasure chest here, which contains a spider silk, and once more we're just going to make sure we explore the area. So this is the Adamantoise I was telling you about. It's a little bit unfortunate that we've been surprised here, but the plan is we attack it with the ice rod, and that should do a nice amount of damage. And it doesn't use any MP either, which is a big bonus. Make sure that there's nothing else to explore around here, because there's usually something, isn't there? And now we're going to just head over to this side. We're on 20% now, and we're going to start by going south. And it looks like we've got some kind of new fella to take on here. I'm going to smack them all with the thunder spell, see what they think of this. Ah, he survives. But not for long, as they say. So I don't expect to get a whole many levels with Cecil and Rydia in this dungeon, since they need literally thousands of experience now from each level. And we're going to head up here, grab the potion. It's only a potion, as I say, so not too exciting, but we still want to get it, of course. At this point we're going to head down south again, but staying close to the west hand side. As usual, exploring every nook and cranny. The reason we're doing it this way is because there's actually 2 more treasure chests that we're going to be able to grab. So we'll want to do so as soon as possible. Don't forget we can use the Life Anthem spell if we want to go ahead and do a little bit of AoE healing, but as I've mentioned earlier, it's not a whole lot. It's nice to see that Edward is starting to level up again. The sooner we can get him to catch up with these others, then the more use we're going to find for him. Remember when we first recruited Rydia, she was pretty darn useless as well. But now, you know, not so much. We seem to be getting surprised a lot, don't we, in this dungeon, which is a little bit frustrating because it just means that we're having to take more damage than we otherwise normally would want to. I'm pretty sure these guys are weak to fire, which Rydia just isn't a caster of at the moment. And once we've grabbed the tent and the potion here, we're just going to head back to the junction. Hey, the tides have turned at last. Something I forgot to mention, I probably should do so now since attacking that guy reminded me. Edward's weapons obviously don't do a whole lot of damage when you attack with them, but they do generally have a status ailment associated with them. In this case, the dream harp, which Edward is using, has a chance of putting the enemy to sleep. So not too shabby there. Oops. How if we cast the correct spell? Okay, we're going to head north here, since we can grab another item, which I'm not going to say no to any of the items, since we have to explore that way anyway to unlock the map reward. One thing I have noticed now is that we are having to use a lot less cure spells and potions. In the first couple of dungeons in this game, we were having to spam them. Now, not so much. The potion that I wanted to grab was actually on the other side of these stairs, so we'll go and do that first of all. Hey, Edward killed his first enemy. Let's hope he's feeling proud of himself, shall we? And we do get a nice level for Cecil, so some good stats there. And I just wanted to run to the back before we proceeded onwards. So there's our next potion. We're then going to head up, as you can see, the other path that also leads north to the east here, since that will allow us to get yet another fun item. Well, maybe not fun, but an item nonetheless. You'll have to excuse me if I'm kind of mellow today. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment and I've got this nasty ulcer or cankersaw for you Americans, in my mouth. So I'm just having to take things a little bit easy. But I did want to get some videos recorded, and we are getting everything done that we can get done in this dungeon, so that's what's important, I guess. And we've mapped out quite a large amount of the map at this point. We're on 89%. I don't think there's any real difference in blizzard or thunder spells on these guys. So now it's just a case of heading south. And as you can see, there's still a little bit more on this map that we haven't yet explored, and actually we can't right now. So don't be too concerned about that. As long as you're on about 94% as I am, then you should be fine. 95, that's what you want. Now on this area you're going to encounter some different types of enemies, so I'll mention those as we come to them. So these are the yellow jellies, and you want to hit these with thunder spells. So it looks like we are going to have to start healing up again, because the enemies have just gone up a notch in difficulty, at least in terms of their attack. So we'll throw a cure on one cure on each of our party members here. And now we're just going to keep going south once we've done this little bit here. And we're just going to keep going south and grab this treasure chest, which contains an Antarctic wind, so not particularly exciting. So remember, these adamantoids could just be smashed with the ice rod for easy killings. And I'm just going to head back over here, in fact, because there's another item we can grab from just inside here. Sometimes the controller isn't as responsive as it is in newer games, I have to say. So occasionally when you see me flicking through random parts of the interface, it's probably because it's not doing what I want it to do. And all there is to grab in here is a chest, but it's a nice item actually. It's the Lamia harp. And immediately we're going to want to equip this onto Edward. And as well as boosting his attack slightly, it also inflicts the confused status. Incidentally, if you want to, you can actually fight some special encounters in this room. Let's see if I can encounter any now to show you, including the leshies, sandworms and basilisks. But alas, for us, it's just the usual. So here's one of the new encounters, which we might have seen before, but this is the first time we really have a chance of killing it, and this is the sandworm. It's a good idea to hit it with hold first, since that can paralyse it. And once it's paralysed, we can pummel it. So we'll try and hit it again with Rydia. Since it does have some nasty attacks, I will give you that. And when it's paralysed, we can hit it with ice attacks and everything else in our disposal. So there's a relatively weak heal. It is weak to ice attacks, as you can see. And there we have it, nicely dispatched. And 583 is nothing, experience is nothing to sniffle at. And I'm just going to see if I can encounter some of the other enemies that you can only really encounter in this space. Yeah, there we go. This is the basilisk. The basilisk isn't really hard in any way, shape or form, so don't worry too much about taking that guy out. But it is a new enemy, and I do recommend that you fight every new enemy at least once. One time. What a lovely spell, pig. Throw one of our 18 potions here onto Edward, try and save some of Rydia's MP there. When you're done with this area, this little area, obviously the main thing is to grab that weapon. Then you can just head back out and we're going to carry on making our way around the floor here. Take out the adamantoids nice and easily. Just need to be a little bit cautious of Edward's health there. So we'll give him a trusty potion. And I think everybody else is good to go. So as we head west here, just want to make sure that I get my bearings. The exit is down south, but we don't want to go down there for the time being. Instead we'll head up and grab the next chest. Which contains an ice rod. And I believe there's another good item we can grab. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so if we head up the stairs, then we can loot a shadow blade, but in fact we don't even need that because Cecil has already got one. So I guess we should just head up here and explore the final part of the northern section of this map. I think we do get some Phoenix Downs for completing this area, so it is worth doing for getting 100% on the map exploration. Back attack, not good. So Edward's gained 5 levels since we've collected him now. Here we'll get a spider silk. And it looks like I just missed out perhaps on some of that map from down south, so we'll just take a brief detour and go and collect that. This is the entrance though that we're going to be heading out towards, so I'm not actually going to head down south for the time being, but just try and get the 100%. There we go. 3 Phoenix Downs for our trouble. How lovely. So we're just going to head through this north entrance here, and as you can see, this brings us back to the first map, where we can complete the map and get 5 potions. So long as you explored every other part of this map earlier on when you was here, and then head back through this other door for a lovely room here. Grab the treasure chests, and we get a rest point as well. The emergency exit item lets you return to the start of a dungeon. So we can use a tent here, of which we have 10. As always, if you still have some MP to spare before you use your tent, you might want to go and expend that by doing a little bit of grinding. But I'll leave that up to you, that's everybody's personal choice of course. And then the plan now is to head back to the previous area from before, where we can head south. Remember we explored it but didn't actually enter through the exit? Well, that's what we will be doing. So I'm going to finish things off here for today, folks, and hopefully we'll be feeling better for the next episode. So thanks for joining me, and don't forget to hit the like button if this episode has been helpful to you, and come back and join me soon as we continue on with Final Fantasy IV. Cheers guys, take care.